Hey, Book Talk. So, I'm here today to film my Iron Flame review. So, let's get right into it. I finished this book 2 nights ago. Um, it emotionally destroyed me. um, I do have a video that I filmed talking about, the emotional impact it had that I filmed directly after finishing it. But I thought this book was fantastic. I would give it at least 5, if not 6 stars. I am loving the world building. I am loving the characters. I love that we got to see more of the side characters in this book. I'm loving the different plot developments and the new lore and all of that stuff. I will say for the rest of this video, there are going to be some spoilers, so just take note of that if you do not want any spoilers for what happens in here. Without further ado, let's get into it. So when I finished this book the other night, I wrote a couple things down in my notes. One of the things that I wrote was pretty early on in the book, probably about a third of the way through. I was like, I don't think that Violet's nightmares about the Venom are nightmares. I think it might be an extension of their power and that they can somehow do that beyond the wards. And given what we see in the book towards the end with Jack, I definitely think that that might be a distinct possibility that that is true. You know, there's so much to say. I feel like there's so much to say. I was like, reading this book, I was like, they gave fucking Jack Barlow a redemption arc before giving Dane one. Are you fucking serious? But no, they didn't. So I was like, okay, they didn't. That's fine. Um, I feel like the ending with Lilith, with General Sorengale sacrificing herself, her dragon sacrificing itself in order to raise the wards, that felt really powerful to me. Throughout book one, I personally did not like General Sorengale at all. I thought she was more closely aligned to having like a villain arc, but with her sacrifice at the end, we see that she did do something for the greater good, and she did not only protect her children, but also Bosgoth as a whole and Navarre as well. So I did think that was really, really good and very, very devastating. Um, One of the other big plot points that I wanted to discuss was obviously Andarna. So I feel like throughout book one and Iron Flame, you do kind of get the idea that obviously Andarna is going to be special in some way, shape, or form. I will say that, like, foreshadowing of that part of the story, the little seeds that Rebecca Yarros planted in order for us to see that. I personally thought that that was great. I thought it was really, really fascinating, and I thought it was done very, very well. I will say I'm really, really enjoying Andarna's character growth. I have loved her as a character from book one, but the dragons in general just feel, I mean, they're like beyond human characters because they're not human, but they are just like so special to me, and I love that they're not just plot devices. Like, I love that they do have their own unique personalities and ways of moving through the world, and how the Empyrean is the separate governing body that cannot be ruled by any of the professors or the leadership at Bosgoth or in Navarre. So I did think that was like super interesting as well. I will say, and Darna talking about waiting for 650 years to hatch. Like, just talking about it again makes me want to cry. Like, I went back through and read that passage where she's talking about waiting for Violet and how she waited 650 years so that she could hatch at the right time to become Violet's dragon. Literally fucking slaughtered me. Like, I was sitting in my bed reading this book. I reread that passage 3 times, and I was just like tears streaming down my face. I love Andarna so much. I love Tarn too, and I love that Andarna said that she looks up to Tarn and really like loves and like respects him. And I was just like, oh, my baby. So yeah, the dragons just like mean so much to me, and I feel like they were so well done, and the foreshadowing of Andarna and what she's going to become is like has been so well written in my opinion, and I just really really did love that part of the story. Another thought relating to the dragons is how Tarn said to Violet that like I'm choosing you to be my last. That like actually fucking killed me. Um, that like again another where I was just like, like fucking ugly crying in my bed reading this. Like so 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 good.